After entering a portal into the past, Mithrandir must find a way back to his original timeline. To do so, he must deduce who will break the dwarves' law, setting in motion the downfall of the city, and stop them before they do so.
Hello there. I'm Habik. I live out back with my wife, Miranda. We used to live in solitude, but, we had to leave. Found this place by accident, like most. The Jarl needed someone to mind the store. So I volunteered. Doesn't make any money, of course. Not enough customers. The Jarl says he likes to keep us busy and out of trouble. But of course, he and all his cronies in the Citadel never seem to lift a finger. Our son was working at my stables outside the city. He was alone when he had a visit from some Imperial, a cousin of the High King. This Imperial thought he'd just take one of the horses as a tithe. Guess he didn't think a 12-year-old boy was going to stop him. But Limar wouldn't stand for it. And as the thief rode off, my son managed to shoot an arrow into his shoulder. But I wasn't there at the time. I came back from the market to find my son's body, trampled in the dirt. It was... I can't begin to describe it. I was shattered. I went straight to Torig's court and demanded justice. But I guess that word doesn't mean much to an Imperial. Instead, he seized my stables and told me if I ever set foot in solitude again, my wife and I would end up the same way as Limar. So we left. Wandered Skyrim for a while, and eventually wound up here. I was hoping this place would be better. I was wrong. I wish it was that simple. But with the dwarves' law, everybody here is terrified of doing anything wrong, in case it gets us all killed. The dwarves wrote, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." But we don't know what they meant by sin. Theft. Violence, probably. But maybe they meant all sorts of things, like dishonesty or disobedience to the Jarl. That's what Metellus would like us to think, anyway. So I could ignore his orders. Sure. I could even lead an uprising against him. Gods know most of us are sick of him, but I'd be risking the lives of everyone here, and I just don't want to be responsible for that. So here I am, running my shop. Could be worse. Don't be a fool. That sort of dangerous talk could get us all killed. If you don't believe me, go and talk to Broll. Dunmer fellow. Can't miss him. All right. No, I don't. But I'd wager that if anyone does know a way out, it's the Jarl. But of course, if he told anyone, he'd be ruling over an empty city. All right, thanks for stopping by.
Help! There's a looter coming into the city. I saw a man come down the shaft, but he was armed and he looked like a looter. If he makes it into the city and starts attacking people, he'll break the dwarves' law, and who knows what will happen. You have to stop him. Everybody, go home and lock your doors!
Dismissed. Let's get this over with.
Like we got ourselves a hero. And a tiger. You hear me? No!
Have company.
Is it over? Is it safe? Oh, thank the gods. What a relief. We're so lucky that you arrived in time to stop them. I'll be sure to tell everyone what you've done for us. Thank you so much. If there's ever anything my husband Tabik and I can do to help you, just ask. Quintus? No, there's no one by that name here. But if you're looking for an Imperial, I'd check the Citadel. That place is crawling with Imperials. Oh, there's not much to tell. My husband Tabik runs the clothing store in town. You should stop by. I'm sure you'll leave looking much better. Not that you don't look good now, I mean, it's just, you know, nice clothes are... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm no good at selling anything. I guess that's why they've got me sweeping the floors day in, day out. Well, that, and we weren't invited to be layabouts in the Jarl's Citadel. Did you see anyone working in the Citadel? I'll bet you didn't. They just amuse themselves all day while those of us down here do all the work. And why? Because Habik's a Redguard and I'm a Breton. I bet if we were both Imperial, it'd be a different story. The worst part is we left Solitude to get away from bigoted Nords after our son died. But here the Imperials are even worse. Of course. All right. If I did, Habik and I probably wouldn't be here. But Urin's wife managed to escape a while back. He doesn't like to talk about it, but you might be able to get him to open up, I suppose. Nice to talk to you. See you soon.
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank for dispensing with some would-be looters. So, thank you. My story? What a strange question. You presuppose that my life is a simple linear sequence of events which can be summed up in a verbal narrative? Well, that's nonsense, of course. First, most of it was so long ago I barely remember. Second, you would have to assume that the account I give you is biased heavily in my favor, and is therefore quite unreliable. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious place. Now, do you have any sensible questions, or can I get back to work? Well, why didn't you say so? I researched Dwarven history and technology, and I'm originally from Kragenmoor in Morrowind. Any other questions? Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else. Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so could have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else. That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the Dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops glowing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burnt corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the Dwarves' Law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know. As long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover. Farewell. Come back if you think of any questions.
Oh, a new person. Well, welcome to our city, or whatever it is the Jarl tells us to say. I'm Lukey. I'm what passes for an alchemist and healer around here. I'll be honest, I don't much care for dealing with people, or healing them, but I wouldn't trust anyone else around here with the responsibility, and I guess somebody's gotta do it, right? Oh, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like my neighbors. I don't like anyone. Stupid, untrustworthy, selfish, ugly creatures we humans are. But you know what? At least down here, people are on their best behavior most of the time, what with the dwarves' law and all. I mean, people are still bastards, but at least they have to be discreet about it. Nobody's openly violent, and nobody's ever stolen anything from me. There isn't one. This place is like a firefly trap. One way in, no way out. Could be worse, though. You could be living in bloody Skyrim. Just a small selection of potions. Ingredients are in short supply here. Happy to buy yours if you have any. All right. See you soon, neighbor.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I hear you defended the city from attackers? Well, aren't you making friends quickly? Thank you. I'm glad you came when you did. Do you have wax in your ears?
request is served.
You there. Come over here. I'm beyond help. The potions do nothing. And I don't have much time. I just need to tell you something. Stendar, he plants these images in my head. He shows me secrets. Made me come here. Something terrifying. Deep in the earth beneath the city. Powerful. And evil. I went down into the tunnels to destroy it. But the energy, it seeps into your bones. Please. Please, you must find a way to get down there. And finish what I...
Oh, Brawl, I've been meaning to ask you, do you think it would break the dwarves' law if I,
Yes. Whatever you were thinking of doing, yes. If you have to ask whether something will break the dwarf's law, it probably will.
Oh, I bet you're a hit at parties. Speaking of which, will we see you at the tavern tonight?
Absolutely not. Same as always. Goodbye, Rastasia. And please, stay out of trouble.
I heard you took care of some looters for us. If only there was something I could do to thank you. Let me know if you think of anything. You want to hear about little old me? Aren't you adorable? But wouldn't you rather hear what I know about everyone else around here? Go on. Ask me. Did you notice the big crack in the floor near the city gate? They say some poor fool fell to his death trying to scale the front of the citadel. There's something creepy about Marius up in the citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Have you seen Rygus walking around in that shiny armor of his all paranoid, like those dwarven statues are going to spring to life any minute? Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room on the top floor of the Citadel, but nobody's seen what's inside. Only one way out of this city, and that's through the bottom of a mug of moonshine, if you get me. Solve all your problems. At least for a while. But then again, some folks will overdo it. Ulrin, the Dunmer fellow, can't miss him. Hit the drinks pretty hard after his wife, Maisie, disappeared. Just sits there, night after night. Poor guy. Wish I knew what happened to her. Caught lots of people talking, but nobody seems to know anything. Odd. Oh, so soon? Well, you know where to find me, honey.
Hey, I hear you dealt with those looters swiftly. Great work. Me? I'm Vernon, your friendly grocer and all-around nice guy. You want fresh food? You're in the right place. You want... Wait, did you hear that? Oh, no. Someone just slid another letter under my door. Could you... do me a favor and grab that before anyone else sees it. Well, what did it say? Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. It's not as if I'm a vampire or a necromancer or anything. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Nothing gets by you, does it? Sorry, that was mean of me. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in Windhelm like I did, you expect a bit of hostility. I saw enough friends attacked and driven away by angry Nords to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for... what was it? 20 years? Living in the barracks with a dozen other guardsmen, watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. And that's when I came clean. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground on the opposite corner of Skyrim, my openness didn't go well among the Nords of Windhelm. But at least down here, I get to be who I am. Or, at least, I thought that was the case. Perhaps I was wrong. No, I don't. I keep my personal affairs to myself, and I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. It wouldn't usually bother me. I have a thick skin, and I can handle myself in a fight better than most. But if these threats keep getting worse, eventually my secret admirer is going to get violent and break the dwarves' laws. What? Really? I didn't expect that, but thanks. It's always a relief to meet someone who's so open-minded. I'm glad you're here. I'd start by working out who uses red ink, or... blood on their letters. Come back and let me know what you find.
Miranda told me you cut down those looters before they breached the city gates. Well done, my friend. Well done. Only the finest clothes in town. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to Firefly Finery. Ah, you saw my notice then. What about it? Thank you. The ring belonged to my son, Limar. He wore it everywhere. He told me it was a gift from a strange wood elf he met in the forest once. It was the only thing I had to remind me of him. But a while ago, I dropped it down the stairs in my shop, and it rolled under a door at the bottom. The trouble is, I've never been able to unlock the door, or work out what's down there. But I'm sure it's possible, because I hear noises down there. So I'll bet that somebody, somewhere in the city, knows a way down there. And who knows what else you'll find once you get in. See you again soon, I hope.
Heard you got to kill those looters. Wish I could have joined you. I haven't been allowed to fight in years. Bye.
So you're the one who killed all those people. Did it make you feel like a big hero? Have you asked yourself who's gonna clean up all your mess? Yes. What about him? He came here with his partner, full of big talk about how Stendar sent them to purge some great evil from beneath the city. Now, none of us know exactly what's down there. But if there is a great evil, then it made the mighty Stendar look like a milk drinker. All I know is nobody with half a brain should go down there, not without a way to protect themselves from the energy that killed poor Brandis. Yes, what about him? Oh, I see. Or Brandis. At least he's no longer suffering. And let that be a lesson to anyone thinking of entering the tunnels under the city. Fine, just walk away.
We can talk, but be quick. Domitus could be back any second.
You're the one who killed all those bandits, aren't you? Gods, what a nightmare that must have been. What do you want with me? See you later.
Death suits you. Impressive. Ready our weapon, my friend. There is killing to be done. They are no longer a problem.
By the 8! I hear you took on a band of marauders by yourself, you buffoon! Next time, come and get me. I'll show 'em what for. Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. Out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you? Now that's just the sort of cowardly nonsense I'd expect from a Stormcloak sympathizer. Off with you then. Go on. Go bother somebody else. Well, I suppose you're right. But don't think that friendship will last if we ever get out of here. You understand that, right? If I did, I'd be up there, fighting the good fight for the Legion, and not stuck in this hole like an old bear during winter. Right you are.
Welcome to Firefly Finery. Yes? Have you found it? That's it. Oh, thank you. I know it's only a ring, but it feels like I've got part of my son back. It's a good feeling. Now, I know I promised you a reward, so here's a little something for your troubles. Thanks again. See you again soon, I hope.
I hear you're handy in a fight.
Can I help
Glad
you with
you're on our
something?
side, love.
Yes, it is. Where did you find it? A skeever? You mean she's dead? Oh gods. She's dead, isn't she? I need to see her. One last time. Can you show me where she is? Oh yes, of course. Maybe it's best if I don't. I don't know if I have the stomach for it. Oh gods. All this time. Please, at least tell me how she died. Do you think the skeever killed her, or did it get to her after she was already dead? way of knowing. Gods, this is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I think I need to be alone now.
Don't die, my friend. No!
Oh, I'm so glad you decided to come see me. Did you know that beautiful palace above the lake is sealed? Brawl says the last person to go in there locked it behind him. I wonder what's in there. Come and visit me again anytime you like.
I heard you took down some bandits. Wish I could have sucked my axe into one of them. Well, it's a sad one. But I don't mind telling it. Name's Golvar. I'm a farmer. Always was. Grew up on a farm near Whiterun. It was a good life. fresh milk and eggs every day. Running around the farm barefoot with my brother and sisters. Never even had to lock our doors. One day, when I was about 18, my father and I were carting some produce into the market when we saw a group of strangers in the top field. My father told me to run back to the house and get his axe. So I did. I ran so fast I almost threw up. But by the time I got back, it was too late. I found him dead by the side of the road. The cart and all our produce was gone. That was the first time I learned about bandits. My mother passed soon after, and I took over the farm. Now, I'm as good a farmer as any, and better than most, but things went downhill from there. The raiding started before long. I'd come outside at dawn and find a few chickens missing. Next it was a cow, then 2 cows. That was the first time in 5 generations my family started locking its doors at night. We knew the guards from Whiterun weren't going to help us. One night, when we had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who it was and what they wanted. I took my father's axe and pulled the door open real quick. Before he knew it, that bandit had my father's axe right down the middle of his skull. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was burned to rubble. My family slaughtered like cattle. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. It still burns whenever I think about it. Well, at least I got one of the bastards. Cleaved that grin of his right in half. Sometimes it helps me get to sleep at night. Sometimes. Anyhow, after that I drifted some. Took odd jobs around Falkreath. But nothing seemed to work out. And then I guess I got desperate. I started taking things. Just small things. Carrots, cabbages. Just enough to survive. I wasn't proud of it. And then one day, I watched myself break into some guy's farmhouse and help myself to his things. And I guess I realized what I'd become. Next thing I knew, I was looking for a place to die. And I found the entrance to this place. And that shaft. And I started my life over again. Well, I'm a farmer, but the land I work isn't mine. Metellus had declared himself Jarl and claimed all the farmland before I got here. I'm not. All I've ever wanted is to make a living by working the land. But it seems someone always has to go and steal the fruits of my labor. That bloody Jarl. He's no better than the bandits who destroyed my life. Only difference is he uses words instead of weapons. But he'll get his. One day. Just do me a favor and keep that last part to yourself, would you? Don't know why you're asking me. Don't know if there's a way out, and don't care. This is my home now. Not even a dozen bandits could drive me away. Fair enough. See you around.
Hello, neighbor. Bye for now.
Everybody's talking about how you killed those looters. Well done. Why, you think if you butter me up, I'll start making food for you too? Forget it. My kitchen's for Citadel residents only. Go make your own food. Well, fine. My story? I'm the Citadel cook. In this life. Not exactly how I thought my life would end up. But it's better than it was on the surface. That. Seems like a long time ago. I had a very easy life for myself in Markarth. Married to a silver merchant. Maybe it was a little too easy. I was bored. A lot. Started looking for something to do. A friend introduced me to skooma. It was fun. For a while. But you know how it goes. I was a living cliche. Lost my husband, my home, my easy life. Then I found myself doing things I'm not proud of. That's when I realized if I couldn't keep myself away from the skooma, I'd have to keep it away from me. So when I found the entrance to this place, I knew what I had to do. Haven't touched the stuff since. Still get the cravings. Sometimes I'd kill for one last bottle. But no point in thinking about it down here. Right. I got myself trapped in here for a good reason. No way I'm going back up there. So, no, I don't know a way out, and I wouldn't want to know. Alright, see you later.
Heard you held back an invasion all on your own. That's fine work. My story? Well, I'm from Markarth originally. Started working at Kolskegga Mines as a lad, and after a while, the Silverbloods made me foreman. I was doing pretty well for myself, until somebody decided to knock me down the shaft into this place. I had a wife and son. Still up there, I suppose, though they probably think I'm long gone. But chin up, right? Meanwhile, I'm stuck down here, supervising workers to earn me keep, waiting for the day that I can get out of here and back to my life in Markarth. I wish. Seems like dwarfs designed this place to keep folk in, but the only thing that keeps me sane is thinking there has to be a way out. Well, I'd be lying if I said they're happy, but I'd also be lying if I said I cared. They're decent people and all, but they seem to have an hard time grasping that somebody around here's got to work the farms, or we all starve. Gulver's the worst of the lot. Seems like a decent man at first, but he's got a temper on him. Once he told me he killed a man before he came here. He'll tell you, if you ask him. Of course, down here with the Dwarves' Law, a bad temper could land us all in a lot of trouble. I'd keep an eye on that one if I were you. Alright, well, I'll see you around.
Well, I'm still waiting for that immaculate helmet you promised me. You do that.
Ah, the Bandit Slayer. Good to see you. My story? Well, my name is Degland, and I'm a merchant, yeah? But people say to me, Degland, they say, Degland, why are you a merchant? They find it surprising because I'm such an honest and trustworthy person. And sometimes you hear about your merchants who are, you know, dishonest. Well, I say to those people, I'm not like them. My father used to say to me, Degland, you can't be like the others. You be a good boy. And I was, my friend. I was not only just a good boy. I was the best boy. The best boy now and the best merchant with the best prices for you.
Until our friend is out of earshot.
My friend, you're in luck. I actually do, but let's keep it down, eh? Don't want anyone else to hear, do we? But I'll be honest with you, my friend. I'm looking after you. There's a bit of a catch. See, it's only gonna work for one person, yeah. I've been keeping it to myself, you know, thinking maybe I'll need it myself one day. But I'm a reasonable guy, yeah. I reckon I could be, what's the word, persuaded? Persuaded to give it away for, say, 1,000 gold coins? My friend, I can tell you it involves magic. Very special and very rare magic. But I shouldn't say any more than that. I need to eat, you know. Well, I like you, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Business here, it's hard, you know. Really hard. I'm doing it tough, yeah? And if I don't have the coin to pay the Jarl, then I lose my shop. I'm out in the cold. I have no money and no food, yeah? What I'm saying is, I need the money, my friend. That's all I need. That is a shame, my friend. But because I like you, I'm gonna keep it aside for you just in case you come into some money, alright? Fair enough. Alright, see you again soon, my friend.
Hello, dear. I'm afraid not, dear. I resigned myself long ago to being here forever. It's not so bad once you get used to the idea. Oh, well, goodbye.
Well, I'm still waiting for that immaculate helmet you promised me. Peasant, did I give you permission to wear my helmet? Take it off and give it to me at once. Yes, I don't care how you got it, just hand it over. I'm not going to pay you for something that's rightfully mine. I was the one who told you where to find it, remember? Give it to me now. You'll regret this, you arrogant peasant skeever. I'll do everything within my power to make sure you do. Now get out of my sight. Nonsense. Not even a peasant like you would be stupid enough to do that. Everybody knows it would break the dwarves' law and get us all killed. So I'll speak to you and the other peasants as I see fit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Got it? Now get out of my sight. I'm sick of you.